back to another segment of People Are Talking. My name is D.Moss, and I am your host. And you've looked for things to talk about, and we're about to give you something really new, fresh, and exciting. I'm sitting here with Keshawn Dodds, ex-high school football star, author, and quite a few more things. Father,
speaker, everything.
friend, motivational speaker. He's done it all. Keshawn Dodds, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate being here.
All right. Keshawn has a new book out, Menzu O, The Calling of the Sun Prince. He's from the city of Springfield, and you've been doing a lot of things, and you've been doing it really, really, really well. Let's give our viewers a little background on you, talk about what inspired you to write this book. I know there's an interesting story behind the book.
Right.
So let's talk about that.
Well, born and raised in Springfield, like you said. Grew up right down Des Street, right down the street from American International College where I work currently. And was an avid athlete, but also an avid reader. Growing up, loved comics, loved doing my own stories, and also creating characters. Unfortunately, in 1996, my best friend died of cancer. And while he was in the hospital during that time before he passed, he created a superhero. And we used to write scripts to it, and we also created Menzuo during that time in the hospital. And after he passed, I went on to what I call my healing period with me writing stories. And lo and behold, after 6 months of writing, I had my first manuscript back in 2004.
So talk about the process of writing and, how you even get into the whole writing state. It's definitely harder than it looks.
Well, it is hard. People, they just think that they can write a book just to do it. It's not something that's that easy. A lot of people get writer's block. A lot of people just have a lot of problems putting the format together. I take this as a gift. My best friend passed, and he was always with me when I put pen to paper.
Okay.
So the process of writing for me is a little bit different than it is for everyone else. I take my inspiration through my experiences with my friend, and also my talent of creating stories and creating pictures together with the stories, make it flow together. So my stories actually flow like a movie that's always constantly running in my head. I just got to make sure my hand keeps up with the pen because it's a hard thing to do every single time I start writing. I say I'm blessed that I don't get writer's block, but the process of picking up that pen, sitting down, formulating each scene and character's voice and also the dialogue that I put together, it works, but also it takes a lot of education to go with it. Going into class, knowing, taking the English classes, getting the right sentence structures and everything else. So it takes a lot of time to put this stuff together, but a lot of hard work, it comes success.
Okay. Where do you find the time to do all this?
At night when everybody's asleep. So I stay up late. My wife and my daughter, they go to sleep. I'm usually in my study or in my bed with my laptop typing up something to try to get myself going again. When I call my writer's block is just a break. I just take a break when I don't feel like writing, but my time is usually between around 10 to 12 or 12 to 1, and sometimes when I get into it, I kind of not sleep. It goes on longer because you don't want to put that down because you don't want to lose the story. But I kind of stopped myself now that I have six manuscripts written now, and so I'm just moving forward with other projects.
Okay. Let's talk about Menzu O and the Calling of the Sun Prince.
Yeah.
And tell us about the character Menzu O.
Well, Menzuo is an 11-year-old kid that grows up in Springfield, Massachusetts. The week before his 12th birthday, he finds out he's a protector of the universe, and he has to battle evil that comes here. So it's a basic superhero story that I created through my best friend when he was in the hospital. But he has to battle evil to protect the energy of all good and evil, and also protect Earth in his first battle against the deadly pirate warrior named Morbid. So he also has to live a life as a regular kid in Springfield. He goes to Springfield Public Schools, so he has a life here so the kids that can relate to it, that it goes right in their city.
Wow. So as they're reading the book, they're reading about State Street, Wilbraham Road,
Forest Park, they're getting everything.
Park, North
it's
End.
all in there, yep.
Okay, wow,
so
that's interesting.
It's more of an educational tool as well. I use
Right.
this as a tool to go in to give people history of Springfield. The Basketball Hall of Fame is in there. The best part about doing stuff like this, I get to tear a city up, blow it up, and also bring it back to life because it's science
So
fiction.
you're blowing up my beautiful city of Springfield.
City Hall is done.
Oh, that's
I'll
my
tell you
job.
that. So, but hey, I worked there too, so I had to blow it up. So
Yeah, but you saved my desk, right? There's that one area of the mayor's office that
I'll make
that's
sure I
saved.
save that
Menzuo gets there just in time, right?
I have to make sure it's
All right,
safe.
Menzuo, I am relying on you. Can you give us a passage out the book?
Oh, not a problem.
All right.
Well, when I do my readings, I also do a lot of work with the kids, and I want to make sure that they're interested into it. So the first thing that I do is say, if you like the first page of my book, you're gonna want to read more. So when I'm reading to them, I let them know that the first page of the book is what grabs your attention. If that grabs your attention, you're gonna want to read more. So I worked hard on creating the perfect first page that will entice a reader, adult or child, to get it. So I'm gonna read the first page for you. Chapter 1, his arrival. April 16th, 1990 was the day he was found on the doorstep of an orphanage in Seattle, Washington. Miss Susan Meeks opened the door that afternoon and noticed him wrapped in a bundle of towels, lying comfortably in a basket with a note attached to it. She picked it up and read it to herself. It stated, "To whom it may concern, please take good care of my son Jamal. He is very special to me, and he will be very special to your world. He is an exceptional child and is only looking to be raised like a normal kid would want to be. I hope that whoever comes into his life on this planet will love and care for him like he deserves. Also be very careful with who he comes in contact with. If the wrong people come into his life while he is not prepared, it would only be very bad. It could be very bad for him and for your world. So once again, be very careful with whoever comes into his life. Thank you, and take good care of Jamal. P.S. Do not remove his necklace. It is the key to his future." So at that time, I asked the kids, "Do you want to hear more?" And usually I have them all enticed and want to read more.
Okay.
So what I do is I go in and I explain some of the chapters of what's going on in the book leading up to the next passage that I read. And so I keep going in and just give them snippets of the book until they want to read it themselves. And I never read the last chapter of how his battle goes, but I explain it and also read how he leads up into it.
Wow.
And so it grabs a reader, and hopefully they'll want to read the book, and also their parents will want to get it. And for teachers, I've also created a discussion guide that goes into the classroom. So you can implement this into your English class, history, social studies, science, a broad range of how to implement Mensual in the classroom. So this thing is more than a book. It's an educational tool to get kids to read, because reading is knowledge and power, and I want them to understand that their education comes first. So if you're reading the book, you're learning.
Okay. How has the response been thus far?
The response has been phenomenal. I've been shocked on seeing from where it was. My biggest fear is that people would write a review and say this is the worst book written. I don't want to hear it. I have had people from all across the country telling me that this is one of the best stories that I've read. I'm not a science fiction writer. I want to read it. I want to know what's happening in the next book. Where's the series going? So the response has been phenomenal. And the best response that I've gotten from a parent was that his kid wouldn't put down the book to stop reading. That makes me more happy than just spending the money or making money off of the book. Is that this is really a tool that's getting people to want to read.
So there's an appeal for young people, young and old alike, correct?
Yes, it is.
That's a beautiful thing. And you're from right here in the great city of Springfield.
Of course, love it too. This
All
is
right,
my
so
city.
we have another success from right here in Springfield. Let's see, also you do motivational speeches.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Well, what I do is from life experience of growing up in Springfield, and also dealing with loss, and also coming out of what I call a fire, and becoming that phoenix that grows every time you get knocked down. I base my educational motivational speakings on self-reliance, motivation, having that personal fortitude to get better and never to doubt yourself. If I can do it, anyone else can do it. So I talk on things that are put in front of you. There's barriers that are always put in front of you, but I believe that God will carry you through anything. So I speak on that, and I also introduce my book with my speakers of this is what you can produce if you put your mind to it. I have a talent for writing. I can't draw a lick. I can't. So I have an illustrator that I work with named Carl Harrison. He is an absolute phenomenal illustrator. His illustrations are here in the book. They'll be on the website with his animated series, and also the webcomic that'll be on pretty soon. So we engage each other in making these things happen. Your talents can be in sports. It can be in writing. It can be in business. It can be in anything that you believe it can be. You just can't fall to the crabs in the barrel that'll pull you down. So I motivate people, adults and children, to make sure that they take ownership of their lives and push themselves to be better.
And what more can I say after that? I'd like to thank you, Keshawn, for spending some time with us.
Thank you, Daryl.
Again,
Appreciate
this is
it.
People Are Talking, and I think we gave them something good to talk about.
Oh, I hope so. Just keep a lookout for the new dates of tours that'll be coming up. the website menzuo.com. Check out the cartoon and the webcomic, and also some of the features that I'll be doing in Springfield.
All right. And this is People Are Talking. We have one more segment, and we'll be right back with you.